Shabbat Shalom. All praises, honor, and glorification unto our power. Call Halim La Allahayna wa Yahweh Bahashem. Yahweh Shai Bahashem Avrakakwadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations as well as health and wellness unto the hopeful elect of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai scattered across the earth. This is your brother Allah coming to you with another lesson. And Lord willing, this lesson will be entitled Is sex before marriage fornication? Which the answer to that question is no, right? Sex before marriage can be fornication because sex is marriage, right? And there's a plethora of examples that show that within the word of the Lord, right? You have to look from it. You have to look at it from a big biblical standpoint and not a worldly standpoint, right? So you mean to tell me a man getting on one fucking knee, bowing to a fucking woman, and putting that ring on her fucking finger is marriage? Are you out your goddamn mind? A man shouldn't even be getting on one fucking knee in front of a woman. Are you crazy? If anything, she should be getting on one knee to you. The hell? You niggas are pussy, man. All you effeminate niggas, you're gonna fucking die. The Lord is not dealing with soft pussies, man. Right? Sex is marriage. You know? God, man. Come on, bro. But, yeah, Lord willing, this lesson will be a land back off of the video that the elder put up. The elder Manat Zagba from the GMS South Carolina camp, and the video is entitled As You See, right? It's sex before marriage fornication. And this is his channel right here. So you can subscribe. GMS Narrator C7. Or GMS Narrator SC7. Salakia. But yeah, I have a clip that I want to play that I pulled from the elder's video, so let's get into it. Going into IUIC, teaching this false doctrine. Which that's not even so, right? Because I'll say this, in the kingdom, all Israel shall be made righteous, right? The law is going to be written on our inward parts, men and women. But on this side, you women aren't going to reach our level. You Israelite women aren't going to reach our level. And of course, the women of you other nations, you're not even on the level of the Israelite woman, right? So, but in these present times, even the scriptures say the Lord have deprived her of wisdom. And even in the kingdom, women, period, aren't going to be on our level, right? We're greater than thou, you know? Now, like I said, for Israel, period, the law will be written in our inward parts, but still, the woman is not on our level. Which the scriptures tell you that. The scriptures tell you that the woman is the weaker vessel. But anyway, sticking to the point. So yeah, that's not even so. That won't have to happen, right? If a man, like the elder said in the video that he put up, if a man chooses to teach his woman, then so be it. If not, then so be it. It's no obligation, you know. Like you got Bible study nights with your woman, and even the elders have done videos on this, right? I remember, if I'm not mistaken, the elder apostle Rakah. I'm not too sure, but if I'm not mistaken, I think he spoke about it, right? Or it may have been the elder apostle Gabar. Not sure if it was the elder apostle Tahar, right? Or the elder apostle Ariam Lab. Not sure, but yeah, you know, it will behoove you to remain a mystery and not even let your woman know, but it may have just happened that way to where she knows that she knows what you're about, and then, but hey, that's your business. If you choose to teach a woman, hey, cool. But ultimately, this truth is for the men anyway, right? It's not needful for the woman to know every breakdown. What the hell do you need to know? I mean, of course, the breakdown of the MOT to the busy, that must be known by everybody, period. You see? Right? You know, that's for everybody, period. But there's certain things that's not needful for women to know because you're not the one teaching, you're not the ones out on the forefront, right? That's our duty. You're unfit for that. You're unfit to be in any um, position of authority outside of course, motherhood or possibly family situations. You know, so it's not for you. You shouldn't be doing videos breaking down. No, shut your ass up and sit down somewhere. But sticking to the point. Um, let's let's continue. You got niggas laughing in the background, right? So what he said, in terms of fornication being sex before marriage, that's not true, right? So let's do this. Let's go to the blue letter. Let's go to the book of Colossians. Now, when you look it up on Google or Safari, it'll tell you that. So let's look it up. Fornication definition, right? It says sexual intercourse between people not married to each other. This is not true. Now, you may say, oh, well, it says that. Well, you have to look at it from a biblical standpoint. So, this teaching right here, this is of the world. This is not so. It's not true, right? When you go to the blue letter, let's get the book of Colossians, the 3rd chapter and the 5th verse, and go into the word. I'm sorry. Is it Colossians 3 and. Oh, I'm in a different version. Right, Colossians 3 and 5. Fornication, the word for fornication in the Greek is porneia. And right here you see illicit sexual intercourse, right? Such as adultery, fornication, homosexuality, lesbianism, intercourse with animals, etc. Right? Also sexual intercourse with close relatives. That's a form of fornication. Sexual intercourse with a divorced man or woman, that's incorrect. Now, sexual intercourse with a divorced woman would be fornication because that would be adultery, right? And you also have spiritual fornication, the worship of idols. And you see, it says of the defilement of idolatry, right? Nowhere does it say um, sex before marriage, which that's nowhere in the scriptures, man. Sex is marriage. Now you had certain cases in the ancient world where it would be ordained and you'd have a celebration, if you will, or even you had certain times when a man would pay, we had the dowry of virgins, right? But the ceremony didn't have to take place. A man could just take a woman and boom, that's his wife. Do the do, and that's his wife. Because what? Sex is marriage, right? And matter of fact, I'm not too sure if it'll, but I think one of these words show it or improvise upon it rather. Maybe the Edamon line. Hold tight. Let me see where we're at. 11 minutes. So if we look up sex, no, no, not that. Look at that, right? So for the word sex, you see it's does sexist go back to an S present sex to cut up, right? Which what are you cutting? You're cutting or breaking the hymen, right? Which as a result of that, right, when you penetrate a virgin, what the blood comes forth, and that blood is the token of that woman's virginity, right? Because sex has spiritual aspects within it, and damn sure emotional. I'm not sure if spiritual is the right word to use there, but meaningful rather. There's real meaningful aspects, right? It's deep, you know. It's deeper than just, you know, because sex is marriage. There's a covenant being made, right? And as brothers, elders, have said, um, if you pop a woman that's not a virgin, really that's not your wife. You know, it's the virgins, right? When you pop a virgin, that's your actual wife because that covenant has been made. When you have sex with a woman that's not a virgin, there's no covenant being made because their hymen has already been broken. That blood has already been brought forth by another man. So really, that's the first man that she slept with, or Salakia, really she belongs to the first man that she slept with, right? Now, a man can deal with multiple women. It doesn't matter if a man, it doesn't matter. But so we got that. Now, I have a plethora of scriptures, going into how sex is marriage. But let's close this. Let's close that. See where we're at 13, right? So fornication is the umbrella of things, which we just showed it, right? The word there is porneia, illicit sexual intercourse, adultery, fornication, homosexuality, lesbianism, intercourse with animals, sexual intercourse with close relatives, sexual intercourse with a divorced woman, the worship of idols. All those things fall under the category or the umbrella rather of fornication. The word illicit means unlawful or illegal, right? And unlawful according to what law? The law of the Lord, the word of the Lord, right? That's the standard. No matter if you uphold it as your standard or not, the word of the Lord is the standard throughout all the earth, right? Period. You know. Now, so let's get into these examples showing how sex is marriage, which will make it impossible for sex to be fornication. You know, sex. Sex before marriage is not so. It doesn't even make sense because sex is marriage. Salaki if I'm, getting a bit twisted up, right? So, but Genesis 24 and 62, let's get this one. And Isaac came from the way of the well, Laharoi, for he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the evening, eventide. And he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels were coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel. For she had said unto the servant, What man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, It is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. And the servant told Isaac all things that he had done. Listen up. And Isaac brought her into his mother's tent, into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. What does it mean by took Rebekah? It means he had sex with Rebekah, he popped Rebekah, right? And she became his wife by way of that act, right? The act of sex is ultimately marriage. And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. See? So that's an example there. It doesn't talk about a ring being presented. It doesn't talk about Isaac getting on fucking one knee like a simp. No, it doesn't speak about papers, or it doesn't talk about that, man. Right? Showing you that sex, ultimately the act of sex is marriage, whether a ceremony was held or not. That's that damn, what's the word? Common common damn, what is it? Consummation. Consummation. That's it. Consummation. Probably spelling it incorrectly. Consummation, the action of making a marriage or a relationship complete by having sexual intercourse. See? Well, sex is marriage, ultimately, right? As I said, you have certain cases where a ceremony was held, right? Such as what was that in the book of Tobit? I'm not sure, right? But that's not required in order to for a man and a woman to become married. Sex is the main factor, right? So next, let me get the book of Exodus, the 22nd chapter and the 16th verse. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. All right. Proceeding on, let me jump to the 24th chapter in verse 4. Right, Exodus 24 and 4. Okay, that's going into something else. Well, but it goes into the blood of the covenant. Now, in terms of marriage, right, when a man has sex with a virgin, that blood being brought forth, uh, is dealing with the covenant of marriage, because marriage is a covenant, right? It's a joining together, which the scriptures speak about, that a man and a woman becoming one flesh. Which, when you go into science in terms of marriage, right? All the different things that take place, right? That parabon process, if you will, so on and so forth, right? That's a man and a woman becoming one flesh by what? The act of sex, which is marriage. It's plain, man, you know, but you got these niggas, man. So let's see, Hebrews 9 and 18. Let's see. Maybe the first testament. Okay. Now let's not get that one. Leviticus 21. And this is from a while back, so I'm kind of just being refreshed. Leviticus 21 and 14. gonna have to write a new flashcard. Okay, let's see. Tobit 6 and 15. Bear with me. Yep. All right, let's get this one. Tobit 6 and 15. Then the angel said unto him, dost thou now remember the precepts which thy father gave thee, that thou shouldest marry a wife of thine own kindred? Wherefore hear me, O my brother, for she shall be given thee to wife, and make thou no reckoning of the evil spirit. For this same night shall she be given thee in marriage. And when thou shalt come into the marriage chamber, which is where the act of sex would take place, right, as consummation of that marriage, right, thou shalt take the ashes of perfume, and shall lay upon them some of the heart and liver of the fish, and shall make it with smoke, and shall make a smoke with it, Salakia, and the devil shall smell it and flee away, and never come again any more. But when thou shalt come to her, rise up both of you, and pray to the Most High, which is merciful, who will have pity on you and save you. Fear not, for she is appointed unto thee from the beginning, and thou shalt preserve her, and she shall go with thee. Moreover, I suppose that she shall bear thee children. Now when Tobias had heard these things, he loved her, and his heart was effectually joined to her. Right? And these are, you get these two. These are examples as well. Deuteronomy 22 and 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not married, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife. Why? Because he hath humbled her, because he had sex with her. Sex is marriage. If you can't see it, man, then you're blinded, right? He may not put her away all his days. You see? Come on. Let's see. So next, we can get, well, let me see what this is. 1 Corinthians 7 and 28. Okay, let's see. Slovakia 34. And from there. 1 Corinthians 7 and 36. But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, right, which means to hit puberty, right? Because when a woman reaches puberty, that's when she becomes a woman. So rather, when a female reaches puberty, that's when she becomes a woman. And it's the same thing for men. When a man reaches puberty, that's when he becomes a man, which, you know, you have an average age, which I won't speak too much about it because I have to refresh my memory, right? But so 36, 1 Corinthians 7 and 36. But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not, let them marry. Meaning what? Let them have sex, because sex is marriage, right? I gotta keep saying it because, you know. So let's see, Deuteronomy 25 and 5. Not too sure what this is. See that? So another example, Deuteronomy 25 and 5. If brethren dwell together, and one of them die and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her and take her to him to wife, right? See, it's clear. And perform the duty of an husband's brother unto her, right? And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel, right? So let's see what this is. Genesis 11 and 29. Let me see what this one is. Deuteronomy 21 and 10. Yep. So this is Deuteronomy, the 21st chapter and the 10th verse. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Lord thy power have delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her that thou wouldest have her to thy wife, then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails, and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month, right? Which this is dealing with heathen nations. And shall bewail her father and her mother a full month. Why? Because you just killed them. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife, right? It's plain. So, I mean, that's pretty much the point. There's more examples, right? But with that, Lord willing, you were edified. Once again and forever, all praises, honor, and glorification unto our power. Call Halim La Alahayana Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Harakakwadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations as well as health and wellness unto the hopeful elect of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai scattered across the earth. See you in the next lesson, Lord willing. While Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Baba Kasha Baba Ball. While Shalom DTA soon and stay sharp. Keep pushing.